I can hear you. Yo, dog, that can be a little creepy and also wholesome at sometimes, you know? Well, anyway, what's up, YouTube? It is your boy Bento, and welcome back to Doki Doki Heart Struck. It has been a while, and by a while I mean a day. I'm sorry. Uh, kind of had something to do, so there was no video recorded yesterday, but I'm recording it now, and you will get it. You are getting a second part, all right? Also, thank you. I know. Look, I know the views for a video can stack up on each other, even if it's just like say just one person watching, the person can watch it 70 times, and all that. But either way, I'm trying to speak here, please. Either way, I wanna say I don't average that much with my with views on my videos. So the most I average is 6 views. That sometimes some other videos can take up more to up to like 12. But the first part that I recorded of this mod is now at this point at 70 views with 3 likes, and it's the most viewed video on my out of all the videos that I've posted. So, it just shows that we're branching out a little bit, I've only been doing this for what, 2 months or so, and sure, it's not a lot of progress, but it's something. Anyway, hopefully this works. I spent like around 15 minutes trying to figure out why my microphone audio was stuck on one volume, no matter how much I toggled and moved around the little volume option on my microphone. So I had to switch my USB from the side that it's originally on to the other side, and switch that my mouse to the other side where the microphone was, and it's working perfectly now. Hopefully it stays like this. I'm about to check that soon, cause it kind of messes up with my whatchamacallit, wire organization, cable organization back here. So yeah. Anyway, that's enough rambling of what about me. Let's what happened last time. Our MC has come back from not living in the area he was living at for 5 years, and he came back. For what reason? We don't know, but the reason they gave us is that we are in hopes of finding a person. This person being a friend that we met while we were kids, and we came back in hopes of finding her to make up for a promise that we made to her when we were kids. And as we played, we met new people. We met Sayuri, our neighbor. We went to a new school. We met Monica and joined the club. We still haven't met everyone else, but we're about to meet them. My freaking phone is buzzing. But yeah, and it's also revealed while someone's during the dialogue is that Natsuki is our childhood friend, not Sayuri this time. Anyway, that's enough rambling from me. Let's get back in here. Oh my gosh, it's good to be back. So we have, I don't know, no, this is after school ended. No, when we met Monica, it was during our lunch break. So yeah. So it's now the end of the day, and we got the room number from Monica from where the club is at, and we are now going to enter. I enter the room and get a quick glance of the area. I see a total of 3 people here, of which 2 I already know who they are. They're quick to acknowledge my presence as Sayuri practically jumps out of her seat and approaches me. Bento? You're the new member? So you've been told. Welcome to the Literature Club, Bento. I see you've met our vice president. Yup, I'm actually kind of surprised she never mentioned me before, considering how much she really wanted me to join for days. I was just trying to keep it a secret so I can surprise everyone when you decide to join. But you really didn't seem convinced enough to actually do it, so I didn't want to bring it up anyway. Wait, so you already knew about this club? Uh-huh. I heard its high praise a few times already, but I only now decided to check it out. Hey. How come when she asked you, you finally come by? And when I ask you, it's always maybes or I don't knows. That's not what you think, really. Like I said, I made my decision today, and that just happened to be the day you weren't around much, which I'm also curious about. The the suspicion doesn't fade from Sayuri's eyes, and I really don't know how else to counter it. But I see my savior from the corner of my eye as the third person who I spotted in the room decides to approach the group. Hey, it's Yuri! Hold up, y'all. Okay, we are done with my fiasco, or whatever it is you want to call. Good afternoon. Welcome to the Literature Club. Are you perhaps the one Monica had mentioned about visiting our club? That's me. Call me strange for noticing how more mature this girl looks than the rest right off the bat. Her approach was rather normal considering the fact I saw her fidgeting in her seat and taking glances at me for the longest time when I walked in. Her voice is really soothing in a way, but what caught my eye was how tall she is compared to the others. She's 6 foot. Almost as tall as me. Okay, yeah, we're not 6 foot. Okay, sorry, Yuri. Sorry for giving you that hope. Well, it's a pleasure to meet. I do hope you enjoy your stay. Happy to be here, and it's nice to meet you too. Right. Why did I say it like that? Right. We need to give a proper introduction to our new member. This is Yuri. She's excitingly smart and shares a great passion for literature. Déjenme en paz. Please, Monica. I'm really not as great as you say. Okay, I need to adjust my microphone. Of course you are, Yuri. No one can read a book as good as you do. You even memorize it all in one go. In fact, you're so immersed into reading that you sometimes don't even notice us when we're talking to you. Sayuri. Huh, what an interesting person. Yuri seems to be the shy kind, so I can assume she was really just mentally preparing herself to come up and speak to me. That being said, her taking a compliment is a bit of a challenge, and especially when you don't phrase it right. So seeing a proud smile on Sayuri's face, I can tell she's completely oblivious to the fact she spouted that compliment with information that I was not meant to hear. I guess I'll just save us from this trouble and embarrassment. It's alright, Yuri. I can really understand what it's like to be in your position. Believe me, I've been caught like that in a few activities myself, to the point where someone had to shake me out of it. But the way I see it, you're really passionate about something. It's obvious you can find yourself lost in it, or for better terms, captivated. And for you, it being a good book is really admirable to hear. I don't usually hear something like that so often, so I'd say that you're great for this club. Hey, we got a smile. Thank you, Bento. And don't mention it. Well, that's Yuri. And you already know Sayuri. I'm Monica, the president of the club. Yeah, you kind of told us when we met last time. I made this club to further my goal of sharing the wonders of what literature is and can be to others. As we already discussed before in the library, literature isn't exactly an interesting subject that can grasp much attention, but I believe I can change that with a little effort and expression of those who truly see it for what it is. And with all of 4 of us showing our contribution to it, I have faith in that goal. So I'm really glad to have you on board with this little mission of ours. Well, damn, that's a speech, alright. Even with how simple and small it was, I can sense a strong aura of determination, which managed to get me all fired up about the idea as well. Considering just a few moments ago I only saw it as a little hobby I wanted to pursue again. Wait, so 4 including me? Well, no, not yet at least. Our final club member, Monica. We know who that is. It is our favorite pink tuft of hair. Monica was suddenly interrupted by an unknown voice that emitted from the back of the room. Seriously, a guy? You said nothing about a new member being a guy. I didn't think that would matter. Well, it does matter. Wait, what the hell? It totally kills the all-girl atmosphere we had going on here. This girl, she looks and sounds so familiar. That annoying whine and the way she talks. Oh, come on, it's not really something you should be complaining about. I'm sure you'll get along just fine with each other with the more time you spend. Pfft, yeah, right. Anyways, this is... Natsuki? Wait, how do you know my name? Nat, it's me. She takes a moment to stop and actually look at me for a brief moment. Her eyes scan me from top to bottom once I step a bit closer to her. I could be completely wrong about this, or it really is her. Natsuki is her name. I caught that much, but... who? Nat, it's me. Bento. Bento? No, but... you're... Damn. Natsuki, without so much as a peep, makes a run for it to the door while I'm left here staring at the door. It actually is her. I turn to face the others who, for obvious reasons, have the look of shock and confusion painted on their faces. Don't worry, y'all. Just childhood friend stuff. I don't have time to explain this. I need to go to her. I have to... Guys, I'm sorry, but I need to... Wait, Bento. Once I rushed into the hallway, I snapped in most possible directions she could have gone to and barely catch her heel dart around the corner that leads to the stairs. Natsuki! I continue to yell out for her as I resume my running and follow her down the stairs. I didn't expect her to be this fast. I really lost sight of her once I rushed down the stairs, but I could only think about where she's trying to go. Through the empty halls, I eventually make it to the lockers where I spot her right at the end, slipping on her shoes. Natsuki, wait! She flinched the second she heard my voice and looked back at me with teary eyes. Suddenly, she bolted out the door with just one shoe on as the other flung from her foot as she began running. Oh yeah, Cinderella! You forgot your shoe! Natsuki, please, just stop and listen to me. Okay. Oh gosh. It's been a while since I had to do emotional Natsuki. Oh my gosh. No! Okay, buddy. No, you stop. Stay away from me. Halfway through the courtyard, she stopped in front of the path to the fountain and turned to me with rage beaming through her tears. Her words were broken and near messy when she spoke, and they stabbed through me way stronger than I could already handle. Nat, I know you're mad, but please just listen to me. Mad? Mad? You think you can label all those years I waited for you as me being mad? Try heartbroken, betrayed, left alone by the only person I ever called a friend when he promised we would. Oh my gosh, the stuttering is real today. Oh my gosh, what now? Left alone by the only person I ever called a friend when he promised he would never leave. When we... For a few seconds, Natsuki freezes in place as she stares at me with a deep gaze. I could almost see her pupils shaking, but her eyes soon glistened with more tears welling up in place. I waited for you. Every day. You were just gone. Gone without a single trace or goodbye. Every day I sat there on the swing and stared at the gate, waiting for your car to show up. To see you step out with a new book or one of mine that I let you borrow. Every day I put my lunchbox on your seat in class so no one would take it, thinking you were just late. I waited for you outside during break under the tree we sat at, hoping you'd just show up. I didn't even care how anymore. I just wanted you to. He might just be sick, I said. He probably slept in today, I said. But you never came. I kept lying to myself for months, years. Damn. This is sad. I gave up, Bento. I gave up on you. I was really just speechless. I prepared myself for every emotion, every outburst or reaction that I expected to come my way, and yet I'm standing here completely defeated, tears dripping from the tips of my chin to my heart aching as if it's being stepped on. I have so much to say, so much to tell her, but I couldn't say anything while every fiber of my being is screaming that I do. And now, you show up. When I finally managed to move on, you show up and I had no choice, okay? Do you think I ever had control over my life? You knew how Dad was. You knew I couldn't do anything about him. He made us move because of his stupid job and I had no choice other than to deal with it. You never let me come over to your house. We didn't have phones or a way to exchange contacts. I had no way to tell you about it. None. I was given one night to pack up. We were gone the next day. I was just forced to leave you, and I had to live with that for days, weeks, months, 5 whole years. But I knew I had to. I had to come back so I can see you and tell you that I'm... With the tears still rolling down my cheeks, words that I've been holding back for me, but that I've been holding back with me for what I felt like an eternity. I finally tell her that what I've been wanting to say all this time. I'm sorry, Natsuki. I'm so sorry. And you have every right to feel the way that you do about me, but please know that I never meant any of this to happen. I never wanted to leave you like that. Just like you, to me, you were my one and only friend, and I couldn't just let you go. I fought and yelled at him for days until he started. I came back to find you because you deserve to know what really happened, and that I'm here to fix things, to make them right. You're still my friend, and you always have been, even if you don't see it that way anymore. I, I, I don't know if I can believe you right now. You don't have to. I'll do my best to prove it and show that I really mean everything. But for now, maybe for a little bit, just for a second, let me hug you.
That's a little abrupt, but okay.
Without another word, Natsuki runs into my arms. I wasn't even expecting a yes, so I could be the one to do it, and she just burnt through my expectations in one move. I can feel my body crumbling in this moment, with all the emotions flooding through. My arms kept their strength and more as I held Natsuki tightly, like she'd fade away if I let go. We stand there for who knows how long. Her crying was barely audible to me anymore, but I can feel the hiccups and sobs on my chest. Eventually, even that comes to a stop. I felt her hands curl up between our chests, as if she was cocooning herself in my hold. I was the one who was actually hugging. She slowly decided to change that by pulling her hands out and locking them around me. I guess she finally calmed down. And she isn't the only one. It took a few breaths. But I came to notice how fast my heart was beating, but for what reason I couldn't tell. Was it because of the running, my yelling, or the feeling joy, relief, happiness? Completion? I don't think I have the energy to figure that out right now. All I know is that I found the one person I was looking for and I finally got to talk to her. Even if it feels that making amends will be a difficult task, I will do my best to make it up to her. She feels so small in my arms. I can't tell how I'm supposed to be holding her, but it's as if she's completely sink into me. After some time, I feel Natsuki's grip weaken, which gave me the hint that I should let go too. How long have you been back for? Almost a week, I'd say. Jeez. How did we not run into each other even once? Huh. I have no idea. I honestly didn't even know you were in this school. Or here at all. It's kind of weird how I almost didn't recognize you. Speak for yourself. I can still barely recognize you. But you really have that dumb look in your eyes whenever you're sad or being wimpy. Wimpy? What the hell? Where the hell did that come from? Well, since we're on that topic, what the hell happened to you? What do you mean? What's up with all the pink and your eyes? And why are you still as tall as the last time we met? Oh my gosh. Bro, there's no there was no reason to bring her height into this. What? Well, what do you expect me to say? You were literally this tall when you were 11. I'm not short. You're just huge. You're literally the same height as Hiroshi right now. Hey, Hiroshi was 5'1". What? Since when? Volume 3, Chapter 6, Volume page 33. During the first PE class of their year, her height was specifically told to be 5'1", with the teacher was talking measurements. Holy shit. You're still a complete geek. Ugh. It's called It's called good memory, you jerk. Yeah, but we read that manga years ago. There's no way I could remember something that specific. Well, you obviously aren't the expert I trained you to be anymore. Pfft. The two of us suddenly burst into laughter after a quick moment of silence. It lasted a total of 40 seconds before Natsuki calmed down and held onto her stomach. I really missed you, Nat. I missed you too, dummy. But for real, how did you even find me by chance? I don't know, really. I guess I have Sayuri to thank for that, since she was the one who... Let me read it if you want to cut it off, because I want to know what the hell... Who introduced me to the idea of joining the club. Okay. Where is my cursor? There it is. The club. Oh, boy. How the hell are we going to explain this to the others? I really hope this doesn't get me kicked out on my first day, but we need to come up with something to at least disclose any panic about Natsuki's well-being, considering she ran away crying because of me. Yeah, that's not a good look on you, pal. After a little while, Natsuki and I head back to the main building, still talking about the past as we went on, even though we still didn't have a plan on how to face the others. But even if we did have the time to think about it, I thought I'd still come up with something considering my thoughts are all over the place because of everything that happened today. The events of today occurred so fast, yet in reality, the two of us spent half an hour outside, which I assume meant I ate up most of the club time. How long were we hugging for? Once we reached the club room, I turned to Natsuki and offered her to go first. Hey, why me? They're your club members. You know them better than I do. There's no way I can take their questions. I'll get eaten alive. Natsuki sighs, then peeks through the window on the door, standing on the tips of her toes to do so. All right, just let me do most of the talking. Natsuki and I enter the club room and see exactly what we expected. Natsuki, Bento, what happened? Are you okay? Oh, you're back. I might not be the smartest person, but I can tell Monika's eyes are screaming the phrase, "What the hell just happened?" and it's getting louder by the second. Alright, this is going to sound a bit complicated, but it's something rather personal. I don't know if either of us want to talk about it, and I'm sorry, Natsuki, but I'm afraid we'll need more than that. What? I just said it's fine. This may come off as a bit rude, and I'm sorry if I offend you, Bento, but I simply can't take an "it's fine" from a club member of mine who just bursted into tears and ran away. I would want to know at least a bit more about the situation to not assume that you're under a threat from this boy and worry that I'm openly keeping you in harm's way by having him stay. I mean, that's reasonable. So I'd like for you to give me a bit of background, otherwise I cannot allow Bento to stay in this club. It's fine. Just tell them already. It's not like we can deny the fact Monika has a point. I'm just really surprised about how observant and cautious she is. And I too think it's best to get this over with now rather than later, rather than to leave the crumbs for them to pick up on the daily. That also just depends on how much we'd like to share. That is rather unexpected. You guys are best friends? Keyword were.
Ow. Exactly. That's what I was about to say. Ouch.
You didn't have to. You didn't have to do it so abruptly, Natsuki.
Like, I understand what I did.
Well, I can't say anything in regards of that. We may have had our laughs back there, but it was all in the brush of emotions. I still have a way to get her trust back. Oh, I assumed that both of you had come to some sort of reconciliation when you were outside. Huh? I mean, kinda. How do you know about that? Well, when the two of you left the room, Monica suggested we leave it for a bit for now and return to our own activities. While I returned to my book, I looked out the window to see both of you hugging for a very long time. Wait, you saw? Aw, you guys did make up. No, we didn't. Wait, if she saw us out there, wouldn't that mean other clubs could have too? I'm going. Natsuki shimmies away to the back of the room, where I see her slip into the closet and close the door behind her. Sayuri remains unfazed and giggles at her expense, while Yuri does a good job at suppressing hers. Although it's not only her embarrassment to bear. I can feel my cheeks warm up at the thought of being watched by 100 eyes while I had an emotional breakdown out in the open. I decide to avoid the topic and quickly turn to the only question I had in mind. Does she always hang back there? I didn't even notice her in the room when I first walked in. Yes, actually. She usually stays near the closet since that's where she keeps all of her own books. Well, that was a weird emphasis. I don't think I should interrogate any further. It's not like I can since the person in question has locked herself in the defense. Anyway, I think it's about time we wrap things up. We only have a few minutes left and it appears we haven't got much done today. Sorry about that. It's alright. For now, all I need you to do is to fill in a few things on the members list and you'll officially be a member of the Literature Club. Yay! Bento's finally here! It's gonna be so much fun with you here now. I mean, more fun than it already has been in here. Good save, Sayuri. Now, Bento, if you can please follow me and fill in your name. The rest of you can start packing up. And do you mind telling Natsuki that? Doing as told, I followed Monica to the teacher's desk where she pulled out a page from one of the drawers and placed it on the table. Looking through the list, I see all the girls' names and numbers written down, including the date of when they joined. Huh. Natsuki was the first one to join. Then how come Sayuri's the vice president of this place? Is it really about qualification in that matter? Is something wrong, Bento? Huh? Oh no. I was just wondering about this list. Having our names and numbers for a club seems a bit new to me. Is it tight security or something? Not in this case, no. It's really for our own benefit. We can easily keep in contact with each other, and I can add you into the club's group chat where we can share information about future activities and more. Secondly, it's part of the school rules to mark down members so they can actually consider as an official club. Oh, so there's a requirement. Yep, at least 5 members count as an official club amongst the minor ones. So that's why Sayuri was at my neck for that long. I'm sorry she pushed you so much about it. That's cool. I had every intention of joining either way, so she was poking at the right places. I proceed to finish adding my information to the members list before handing it to Monica, who then takes a look at it to see if everything's in place. Well then, Bento. We now officially welcome you as a member of the Literature Club. Glad to be here. It actually took me a while to notice this considering everything that happened up to this point. This club.
Is every mod I play someone gonna bring this line in here?
This club is full of incredibly cute girls. And Natsuki. I guess it really hadn't sunk in, but I'll be spending the rest of my days after school with them. Is this even legal anymore? Okay, everyone. With that out of the way, I think it's time we head home. For tomorrow's meeting, I have something planned that I'll share in the group chat later today. So make sure to keep an eye on it and have a safe journey home. The girls had already gotten their bags while I was busy, so they were quick to head out. I went over to grab my own bag. In the corner of my eye, I saw Natsuki leaving last, which made me awkwardly wince. I could have said goodbye for the day at least. Once I retrieved my bag, I began looking through it, making sure everything was in place. It only took a few seconds, but once I finished, I swung my bag over my shoulder and turned around to see a flash of pink in my face. Whoa, hey there. How the hell did she come back in that fast? So, we have a lot to talk about. You think? But let's move this outside. I say, pointing towards Monica, who is standing at the door completely static with a smile on her face while she spun the room keys on her finger. It'd be rude of me to say it's actually creepy. Right. Natsuki and I wave Monica goodbye and head outside. Even though I said we should talk outside, we end up walking down the hall in complete silence while I pretend I don't notice her seeking glances at me. This continued for a good while until we eventually left the building. I didn't spot the rest of the girls on the way out, but rather other clubs making their usual commute as they head home or hang around outside. Natsuki and I exit through the main gate, where she eventually comes to an abrupt halt. My house is this way, so... Oh, right. I wonder if I can take this time to actually work things out with her. Or rather, start somewhere. I don't think that would be a good idea. I'll just leave it be. Just leave it be, madam. Just leave it be. I mean, it's already awkward as it is now, and that would just make it weird, seeing as we just came back out of nowhere after leaving her for so long, and then coming back one day and asking her, "Hey, can I walk you home?" I don't know. That's a little weird, and a little too fast-paced, if you ask me. I guess I shouldn't bother her about it right now. She has always been a bit reluctant on talking about her home life, so I can't take my chances with that topic right now. But when I think about it, the more I worry. I guess I'll see you tomorrow then? We can probably talk at lunch or during free time at the club if we get any. Uh-huh. Alright then, well, Natsuki hastily walks away before I can even finish. Something tells me I need to get used to that. Well, I reached home and quickly changed out of my uniform, then slumped down on my bed after freshening up. With my chin resting in my head, I began replaying the entire day in my mind and finally taking the realization of how much has happened. I began regretting the things I said and didn't say, cursed myself out of them, confused myself with what I'm supposed to feel. Think about Natsuki. It still felt weird of her just to run off like that, almost as if she didn't want me to say or ask anything. I sighed and decided to lay down on my bed completely and delete my thoughts by staring at the white ceiling up top. Suddenly, my phone starts buzzing like crazy to the point that it almost fell off the side table. What the hell? I grabbed my phone and pressed the finger scanner to reveal what's behind. The bold title of the Literature Club brightens up the screen as I now understand what was going on. I guess Monica pulled me into the GC already. Welcome to the humble abode of the humble abode, Bento. Ooh, Bento's here now, too. Yeah, not like I'm 15 steps away from you. Oh, yeah, you're my neighbor. I'm gonna check if I can see you through my window. You're... Oh? You two live next to each other? Apparently. Well, that's interesting. And hello, Bento. You? Sup? Okay, everyone. For tomorrow's meeting, we will be meeting at the roof, so if you do end up running late to the meeting, just drop your bags off at the club and come up. I'll be heading there directly after unlocking the club room, so no need to wait for me there. Once we're all ready, we will begin a special activity I've planned. Ooh, club meeting outdoors? That sounds fun. Alright then. Understood. K. Huh? At least Natsuki said something here. And that also means she'll be coming tomorrow, so I can at least rest easy knowing she won't stay away from the club because I'm there. A meeting on the rooftop for a special activity, huh? That's something I look forward to, I guess, since I am part of the club now. I have to fill my end of the bargain here, which shouldn't be a challenge, really. Looking at the chat again, I chuckled and head out of the guest room next to mine and walk out to the balcony. Whoa, balcony? This is the first time I see artwork for a balcony. The cool wind brushes up my hair in a strong gust once I step out. Ignoring it, I look to my left and spot Sayuri leaning out of her window, waving to me frantically. Hey, Bento! I wave back with a wide smile on my face. This girl really is a goofball. Careful, you're going to fall into your own yard. I'm fine. You're coming to the meeting tomorrow, right? Yeah. Good, because that means we're going to start walking back home together too. Sure, I'm cool with that. Quiet down already. Some of us have work at night. Oh, it's an elderly woman. Sorry for giving you that voice, madam. An elderly woman from across the street pries open her window and yells at the two of us, which causes me to retreat. Sorry, Miss Shiro. Oh, she's definitely still here. Mom's going to be happy to hear that. Once I re-enter my room and my phone buzzes again. Nice going, dummy. Hey, you were yelling too. Barely. My message is received, so read. So I drop my phone onto my bed and sigh to myself once again. I really don't have much else to do today until dinner. Groceries are stable, and I even got the Wi-Fi running in here. Hence the message spam in the club's group chat. Speaking of the club, I kneel down to the side of my bed, unzipping my bag and pulling my book out. I decided to use this opportunity of loitering to get started and take my mind off things. This will give me a bit of a head start on things to talk about and involve myself more in the club. Alright, thanks, man. I forgot what the book is that we got, so... Mom, I just lied down and I was going to bed early anyways until you called. Of course you were. Anyway. I do have something really important to tell you before I do go to bed. You won't believe who I ran into today. Oh, I don't get it. We don't get to see her reaction? Aw. It's Wednesday, my dudes. Another day of school and another struggle of a sore butt. But this time, I seem to be the first one here. I got up really early and used this excuse to get Sayuri to wake up early too, with masses of texts and phone calls. Man, I didn't know I'd feel this energized today, or on any school day for that matter. Sleeping early can't have this much effect on you, can it? My walk with Sayuri today was more active as well, with the two of us playing a guessing game of what today's club could be. The one who guessed wrong gets to buy the other a soda. Even though I agreed, I felt like I was in the disadvantage because Sayuri knew Monica more than me, so she'd have a better idea of what's going on in her head. Usually, I wouldn't even be paying attention to what she says because I'd be sleepwalking half away. You seem to be in a good mood today. You even made it to class before me. Is the freshman trying to one-up the class rep on his second week? Kotonuho sat down on her usual spot next to me as she giggled after her tea/greeting. I forgot Kotonuho was a character in this game. Oh, hey. Nah, I'm just feeling more fresh than usual today. Ooh, any special reason? I don't know. It's probably just because I woke up early. Actually, remember that talk we had at the park? Uh-huh. I raise an eyebrow at her as I give her a knowing look, to which she catches on rather quickly. Wait, really? Did you talk to her? Talk would be an understatement. It was kind of exactly how I pictured it. We met, she cried, I cried, we started screaming at each other. She told me how much my leave affected her in some detail, told me that she gave up on me and she said she missed me. So I guess that counts for something. We still haven't exactly worked things out since the time and place wasn't the best, but she did offer to talk about it sometime later. And how did you run into her? To keep it short, I wanted to join a club for some time now, and yesterday I did. She just so happened to be part of that club too. Wait, so she's in this school? Yep. Huh. What club? It's the literature club. I officially became a member yesterday, although someone had been asking me about it since day one. Literature, huh? Well, I don't know much about you, but I didn't expect you to be interested in something like that. Looking at the front of the class, we see the teacher shutting the door loudly on purpose to grab our attention and silence us. This also made me look around the room to find it completely filled. Don't know how neither of us noticed him or any of the students enter. To be continued. The two of us share a smile before turning our attention towards the teacher as roll call begins. And now to struggle another day of school that I've already complained about school. A second time isn't going to cut it short. Lunch period finally comes around and I don't wait around much for it. I have to talk to Natsuki today, and I don't exactly see time for it at the club, so break is my best shot for it. For now. I head towards the door only to be called out by Kotonuha. Wait up, Bento. Before you head out, I wanted to let you know that you're going to need a few notes for chemistry since we covered a good portion of it before you started. If you want, I can hand you mine or ask someone in class if they're willing to give you some. Oh, that'd be great actually. If it's no trouble then. None at all. I'll hand you the important stuff after break since we do have chemistry today. Alright, thanks Koto. I turned to leave again only to realize what I just said and turn back around. Koto, huh? Sorry. No offense or anything, but Kotonuha seemed like a mouthful, so it just slipped. Relax. I get that a lot actually, but to counter that, people just don't call me by my name at all. I kinda like it. Right, so I'm gonna head out now. Alright, I'll see you later. Do. Once again, when I step out, I take a deep breath and push out my embarrassment as if it were a waterfall. Why do I always end up getting like this around her? I guess I'm still not used to being around people like her. She kind of reminds me of how Monica is, even though I only met her yesterday. I slap my cheeks with both of my hands to shake up my head and begin walking down the hall. I did say that I need to take this opportunity to talk to Natsuki, but I don't have the slightest clue how. We never agreed on to actually meeting anywhere, nor do I have any chance of letting her know. Wait. I pull my phone out of my pocket and quickly open up the group chat to see Natsuki's profile there. Should I? Is it too much? I don't want to weird her out or anything. No, I said I'll try, and if it takes this to make the first steps, then so be it. Tapping on Natsuki's profile, I get a hold of her number and shoot her a text as I continue walking. Hey Nat, it's me Bento. And now I wait. Honestly, I don't even know if she'll respond to me or straight up block me. Oh, hey. How did you get my number? The GC. Figures. So what is it? Nothing much. I was just hoping if you want to eat lunch together or just talk. I got nothing going on right now, so I thought it'd be a good time. There's no response for a few minutes until Natsuki starts typing again, and even that takes a long time. I can't tell if she's typing up a wall or if she's stuck on considering it or not. Okay. Meet me down at the vending machine. It's really the only one at school, so you won't miss it. Alright. Even though I already knew where the vending machine was, it was actually news to me that it was the only one. Without wasting much time, I quickly head back down the path I had come from and make my way down the stairs. Once I reach the location, I don't see Natsuki anywhere, which was expected. I was already near the place when she told me to meet her, so I came back quicker. I sit down on the stairs and wait for her to show up. Not long after, I hear footsteps behind me as I turn to see the source. Hey there. Hey. Off to a good start, aren't we? So, how did they treat you so far? Fine, really. Although, I don't remember a single word from history class. Same. For me, it feels like I do that on purpose, though. Like, I know it's not that hard of a subject, but I just find it so boring most of the time. I read some books or manga based on old history too, but hearing all of it from someone just isn't your thing. Not one bit. I totally get that. But sometimes it's not even about if it's boring to listen to or not. History's supposed to be about the who's, what, when's, and why's. But all I've heard is when. Exactly. I get that dates are a crucial part of the subject, but they aren't everything. I actually want to know more about the war rather than just learning when it actually happened. Sounds like we got stuck with the same teacher. It's my second week, and I already feel burnt out by him. Spoken like a true freshman. Oh, the pain. I'm sorry about yesterday. Huh? About running away like that. I know I said we should talk outside, but I just had so much on my mind at that time that I just got scared and didn't. It's okay. I understand how you must have been feeling at the time. Hell, I was prepared for it and even expected a few punches, if anything. But that's why I'm really here. I know you'll find it hard to believe or trust me, but hear me out. I know I haven't showed the best example of keeping promises, but I need you to trust me on this one. For all those years, I never forgot about you nor gave up. I planned on coming back the day after we left, knowing that I'd grow up and be able to leave on my own and come back to you. Made plans about how I'd say sorry. I was still a kid. I thought a truckload of mom's pastries and 2 volumes of Eurosay Loom would do the trick. But even all that planning failed anyway. I still want to make things right because no matter what, I cherished our friendship. Now the question I want to ask is, do you? Yeah. After receiving the response that I had hoped for, Natsuki and I settled down and began talking over a few things that eventually turned into stories. Stories about our time apart and what life was like during that time. We even got ourselves something to eat for the time being since Natsuki was in fact really hungry. Since we're on the topic again, what's with the pink dye and are those contacts? A while after I finally accepted the fact that you were never coming back, I decided to change my look during the summer break. I thought it would be easier if I changed my look so people wouldn't know it's me and leave me alone. I asked my aunt to help and cut a new hairstyle. I even picked out the dye color myself. And I really just wanted to try it because that was one of the few things Papa didn't care about. I mean, I didn't hate the brown, but it felt and looked really boring. So you went for Minori's hair. You've read Parfait Girls? Only the first volume. But to be honest, that type of slice of life really isn't for me. I love slice of life. Romance, not romantic. Romance anime. I can get by and enjoy the type with no conflict or hell, even the romance. But the whole thing was just so cliche and growly for my taste. It didn't click me. Really, the story was just so moe. I didn't even know how it got that much attention. Half of the plot just felt like an easy level guessing game because of how predictable the characters were. The second volume came out the next month from when I finished the first, but I really didn't want to. Oh, you like the series, don't you? What do you think, smartass? Sorry, I didn't know. How? You literally just pointed out that I changed my look based completely off a character from that manga. Why the hell would you think would I do that if I wasn't interested in it? Fair enough. By the way, how are things with your dad? Even though I'm worried about hers, it's not like my home life is something I want to talk about either. But I guess Natsuki deserves to know about it too. It's probably a good way I can gain her trust enough about the topic so she can open up too. He, passed away in an accident a few years back. Wait, really? I simply nod. Gosh, I'm sorry. I can tell Natsuki is a bit confused as to how she's supposed to feel about this or how I felt. For the longest time, it was made really obvious that he wasn't the best parent nor did I ever like him, so that is a different puzzle for her to solve. Before I could even address the situation or try to change the subject, Natsuki does it for me. And your mom? Oh no, she's alright. She really wanted to come with me, but a lot of things kept delaying us, so she sent me off by myself. Wait, by yourself? You're living alone? Uh-huh. It's not really a big deal. Even though it's been years, I still grew up in that house, so there isn't much else I'm not used to. You're back in the same house too? That's actually a relief. Really now? Why? Are you planning to coming over or something? Huh? I didn't say that. I just think it's convenient to at least know. So you can come over sometime. Shut up! My laughter at her expense was short-lived when we heard the bell ring. Once Natsuki was done with her pouting, we continued talking as we went up the stairs. And so that also means Sayuri lives right next to you. Mm-hmm. We actually came up with this little routine of waking each other up and walking to school together since we both discovered we share the habit of oversleeping. Yeah. I usually see her zooming past my class to get to hers on the first periods. It's hilarious. Yeah. She did kind of sleep in on my first day when she offered to give me a tour of the place. She's childish. Well, I wouldn't put it that way. She's a bit more carefree than most. Yeah, well, sometimes she gets so annoying at the club. Whenever she wants to sit and read with me, she'll keep stopping and ask obvious questions instead of reading ahead. Most of the time, she's just a freaking kid no one has control over. But it's not something I really hate. Barely caught her words when she started mumbling, but I got a general idea of her relationship with Sayuri at the club. Natsuki wasn't always this easy to talk to back then. She was extremely defensive and only kept to herself or me. Anyone who even tried to approach her would get a handful of death glares or passive-aggressive tone. As long as you don't ruin her peace, she won't swallow you whole. But it was that exact behavior of hers that always made me wonder why she wanted to be friends with me. After a short walk, we eventually come across my classroom. Well, this is my stop. Oh, alright then. Guess I'll see you at the club. I'll have to get used to seeing your dumb face there from now on. And I'll have to get used to looking down so much, otherwise I don't think I'd see you there.
Why are we going for her height?
Hey! Before I can meet my doom, I run inside my class and hop into my seat. Still seeing Natsuki through the open door, I stick my tongue at her and watch her stomp, then walk away. I'm definitely going to get an earful of for this when I do get there, but I have no regrets. These subjects actually aren't that tough to get. I can't tell if it's easier here, the teachers are better, or if my previous school was as terrible as one can get. With the last class finally over, I pack up and quickly head out the class, excited for what lies ahead for today. Once I head outside, I make my way towards the stairs and spot Kotonuha heading up in front of me. I decide to catch up anyway since we're going in the same direction. Hey Koto! We already reached the second floor by the time we actually started talking. Planning on showing up earlier than your club members too? Nah. I guess I'm just a bit excited since it's my first actual meeting. That makes sense. Hey, what about you? Are you also a part of a club, or are you just up here for a stroll? A bit of both, actually. I'm a member of the debate club, but since we have so many members, it takes a while for everyone to gather up. And our club president really doesn't like starting meetings without a complete attendance. So I usually take my time on getting there, but not completely slack off either. Damn, I get the feeling that's the norm for most of the major clubs. Sometimes, but I knew what I signed up for. Anyway, this seems to be my stop. We come to the stop at a classroom that had students scattered in and outside, most either on their phones or talking to each other. The two of us wave each other goodbye before I head back the direction we came from, since I realized I walked past the club room as we talked. Once I reach there, I peek through the window and see two bags set on the table. I guess they're already up there. I slide open the door and toss my bag onto the nearest table, then make my way up to the roof. I immediately spot Monica and Sayuri at the far side talking to each other. I met with warm smiles and a frantic wave from Sayuri as I approached the two. Well, hello, Bento. Glad to see you didn't run away on us. I thought you expected me to anyway on account of what happened yesterday. Hey, Bento. Hey, you two. Hope I didn't keep you guys waiting. Nope, you're right on time. Although a certain someone was already here before me. So I shoot Sayuri a suspected glare, to which he responds with trying to avoid eye contact. I was just excited for today. I hope you didn't try ditching your last class just to get here first. No. I just got off early today because the teacher left in a hurry, I swear. It's fine, Sayuri. The quicker we're here, the more time we have for the meeting. Now, all we have to do is wait for our other two members and we can get started with the activity. And as I found cue, the door swings open, revealing Yuri sort of pacing towards us in a panic. I'm terribly sorry for my lateness. Yuri starts panicking as Natsuki bursts through the door with a light huff. It's alright, Yuri. But are you okay? You seem out of breath. Yes, I'm fine. It's just that Natsuki, when it stopped pinching me as we came up the stairs, it forced me to quicken my pace as we walked. What the hell now? Natsuki, could you please explain why you felt the need to do that? Gladly. She's the one who asked if we walked together on our way up here, then walked slower than a tortoise. And somehow she manages to get ahead of me when we get to the stairs. Now I'm stuck behind her for a total of 5 minutes. Not only is she so slow because of her posture, this posture of hers is so huge that I couldn't even walk around her to try and get ahead. So I had to speed things up. Okay. Too much information, shorty. Let's just move this along. We don't actually want to run out of time again. After that, Monica walks over to one of the benches, which she was previously standing by, and swiftly picks up a few pages. We follow her and sit down at the bench where she started handing us the pages one by one with a pen each. Now then, today's activity is more related to one of our own ones. And don't worry, Bento, you don't need any past experience for this. Last week I asked everyone to write about how they felt about being a part of this club. It thrilled me to see the positive feedback, but it also gave me a bit of insight on how you express yourselves and how you write. Today I want you to do that again. Only this time you will look for a topic on your own. So we came up here so we come up with something to write about. Technically, yes, but your inspiration can be found all around you as well. Monica extends both her arms out to the side as if presenting the world to us. Just look around you. There's a beautiful clear sky, a wide scenery that stretches for miles, perfect view of the city. And this. Gosh darn fly on my face. Monica proceeds to flay her arms around trying to swat said fly, which got a little laugh out of all of us. Anyway, all I want you to do is pick out anything you want and write about the first thing that comes to your mind. Think of it as a pop quiz for your creativity. Any questions? The instructions were fairly simple, and we all agreed through our light murmur and head shakes. Then let's get started. You can always come to me if you need any help. Monica says this as she heads off to the opposite direction with her pen and paper. This doesn't seem hard at all. It's not like I expected some entrance exam for this club thing, but it does count as a little test for myself to see where I stand. As they say, Yuri sitting down on the ground and staring up at the sky, probably her aim for a topic. Yuri already started with hers as I looked over to see her intently writing on the page, using the bench as a table. Natsuki, on the other hand, seems to be staring off into the city through the fence, her pen and paper in one hand as the other one held to the fence. You know what? Let's talk to her. I guess I could check up on her and do the same instead of just standing here. I head over to Natsuki and assumed the same position as hers, but instead pressed my forehead against the fence. Something catch your eye yet? Huh? Oh, no, not really. It shouldn't be that hard. You just gotta look until something piques your interest. Yeah, but nothing really seems to click. I just see something for what it is, and I can't seem to come up with something. Don't tell me you grew out of that. Don't tell me you grew out of the imagination. Shorty. Oh, shut up, and don't call me that. That's a no can do. You just have to get used to it. Ugh, forget what I said. I already can't stand you being here. Come on, I'm just messing with you. Look, it's easy. Just look over at that tree over there. It speaks a story of its own. It's growing smack center of the school's ground, so it's probably a comic meeting place for students in their free time. I mean, yeah. That one was planted by the school principal's dad. It was something about signifying growth and strength, being completely unmoved by the impact around you. But to the principal herself, it was a place where her life as part of the school began. A place where she grew her own bond with the school as a student. And after years, she stands here in her dad's place with the same goal and ideals. Isn't that enough of a start? Huh? No, I'm just talking about the... Huh. I smile and turn around, now leaning my back against the fence as Natsuki finally realizes. See? That's a head start. I'm pretty sure you can work your way from there if your creativity is still intact. Yeah, I get it. You're welcome, Shorty. Before Natsuki could do any damage, I quickly fuse the scene and sit down on the opposite side, passing a small wave to her before turning my attention back to my page. I stare at my page and it stares back at me, white, blank, empty, and begging for a beginning. Now that I'm actually here, I need to at least think of something good, or choose something good for that matter. Tapping the back of the pen on my lip, I stare off into the view below. A few hints of greenery, cars zooming in the distance, and an ocean of a city. Nothing but change and human influence stretched across the land as far as the eye can see. It would be up to your perspective on whether what you see is beautiful or a plague. Most would love to see this type of change and advancements. Others would spit at it and call it too much. Yeah, I'm using that. Oh my gosh. We can see deeper into meanings of stuff sometime later. I don't know how long I've been writing for, but I was snapped out of it by a cute yawn I heard in the distance. I look up from my page to see Natsuki covering her mouth, and it seemed like my attention wasn't the only one drawn. Mm. You're right, Natsuki. It has been a while. Shut up. Okay, anyway, everyone. If you're all done with your writing, I think we can head back to the club. Wait, I'm almost done. It's alright, Sayuri. Take your time. Sayuri retreats to her previous position and starts hacking away at the page. During this, Monica speaks again. While Sayuri finishes up, I think it's best to tell you what we'll be doing next. For better practice, and so all of us can learn about each other's writing skills, we'll be sharing what we've written down back at the club. Wait, what? Monica, that's too sudden. How so? You can't just make us do that out of nowhere. I agree with Natsuki. I'm really not prepared for something like this. But what's the problem? This activity is supposed to help us understand each other better and practice more public speaking. Is it really that shocking of an idea to them? Didn't you share your poem with me that one time, Natsuki? No. You just snatched it from the table when I wasn't looking and read it. But it was a really good poem. That's the main reason I wanted you to share your work. So you can share your talent for this and be more confident in writing more openly. So, wait, you write poetry? Well, yeah. Huh. That's actually really cool. Did you recently pick that up? Not really. I started it a year ago, but it was just an experimentation back then. I don't know why I was stuttering on that one word. I was adding extra words that weren't even, extra letters that wasn't even there. It's not like they're any good. You wouldn't like them anyway. Now I get what you mean when you said they're really shy. Now you can see what our few obstacles are. Hey, what do you mean? What are you guys talking about? When were you guys talking about us? Doesn't matter. What matters is that you find it in you to get out of your comfort zone. Obviously, it isn't going to be that easy, but you won't know if you like it or not until you start with something. Why are we hearing this from you? It's not like you're jumping in assignment to do this. Oh, I'm not. I just don't have much to lose doing this, or am I against it? It's a group activity, so I like to practice. I'm ready to do this. You guys have time, which is until Sayuri's done. I guess I don't have much of a choice, do I? Well, you definitely do have a choice. I'm not forcing this on you guys, but I do think it would be great help for you. Fine, whatever. Let's just get this over with and... Sorry, I'm done now. Alright, Sayuri. There's no need to rush yourself. Yeah, but that did take a while. What did you write exactly? I didn't really write anything long. I just got lost in thought when I was looking at something to write that I forgot what we were doing. Well, that's a reason, I guess. Soon Monica addresses the current time and we quickly head back to the club room. Once back at the club, Monica heads back to the teacher's desk and turns on the computer as the rest go over to their bags and settle down. You're allowed to use the system in here too? Only I am. I have a lot to go through online with paperwork regarding the student council, so the teachers entrust me with its usage. And it also comes in handy with a lot of club work. And sometimes for my own work too. That sounds both convenient and also stressful. That's usually how it goes. But it's nothing I can't handle. I'm really glad it's not as overbearing for me as it actually is. Usually, us council members have to stay after school for meetings and other activities like helping out for future events. But those who attend clubs are excused for that. Even the head of the council. Wow. With how hectic that sounds, I didn't think running a club would be on your mind at all. I can understand that. I actually always wanted to do this. It wasn't a work choice to overburden myself or anything. I really just wanted to do something I was really passionate about. And even though I'm still here after school, being in the club is sort of a way for me to unwind because it's something I really enjoy. I can definitely see that passion, so I guess you're on the right track. I'm glad you think so. Yeah, you're great. Now can we get this over with already? Right, sorry Natsuki. With the page unfolded in hand, I follow the ghost to the center of the room. Well, that wasn't really eventful. Natsuki felt like a firewall in trying to get her to share, but despite her hesitance, it was still a nice read. Although, she didn't want to admit it. Yuri's way of writing really reflects her complexity and interest in presenting deep meanings. Hers was almost exactly a poem, Sayuri and Monica both ended up writing about the same thing, which was the topic of clouds. Both had different styles and perspective of their small story, but they shared the same feeling of wanting freedom. The differences yet strong skill in this club is really colorful. Once we were done with the activity, I noticed Yuri and Natsuki deflate in relief when Monica said we still have time to do whatever we want. Everyone had dispersed and occupied themselves with their own thing, while I'm just sitting here playing around with my pencil. I could use this time to catch up on some reading. Planning to do just that, I pulled my book out and flipped over to where I left off. Why do I feel uneasy? I'm only one page in and my focus is completely off. I lift my head to look around the room and instantly find a lead on this feeling. Great. From across the room, Yuri has been staring at me very intently. Madam, please, I can't do with possessive Yuri right now. Put the knife away. And upon being caught, she immediately buries her face in her book. In just 5 seconds, the atmosphere took an awkward turn. But I'm also curious as to what she wanted. It's not like she was staring at me just to stare at me. Right? I sighed and shut my book. I could take this chance to get to know her better, seeing that we'll all be spending our time in the club together. It's best if we communicate more. Or try to, at least. Hey, Yuri. Sorry, I didn't mean to startle you. No, it's fine. I really must keep a better check on my surroundings. It's alright. You were engrossed in your book, and like I said, that's not a bad thing. So, I guess we'll just ignore what I initially planned on talking about. This is less awkward. But that brings me to ask, what are you reading, by the way? The book itself seems to be thick and black with a strange eye on its cover. Oh shit. Yuri slipped both of her hands off it to turn to me, giving me a better view of the cover. Portrait of Markov. It's a rather complex story, but I can break down the premise if you liked. How complex is it for you to break down a synopsis? Okay. In this story, we follow the perspective of a young high school girl who recently moved in with her long-lost sister. But as soon as she does so, strange occurrences take place in her life. She gets targeted by these people who have escaped an experimental camp. Even with her life constantly in danger, she faces hard decisions for someone of her age to make, ultimately destroying her life as she's progressed. She couldn't trust anyone and therefore is forced to face her troubles alone. Wow. I'm sorry. I didn't say too much, did I? Oh, no. I'm just taken aback by the plot. It sounds really interesting just by hearing the premise. I guess I just wasn't expecting you to be into horror. I see. Well, yes, I do find it rather captivating. The feeling of being on edge and wondering about what comes next just by lines on the page really express a strong emotion. It's not only the scary occurrences that grasp my interest, but the atmosphere the writer displays. In other genres, they can maintain such details very well, but in horror, it takes the reader on a completely different journey. I hate horror. Natsuki emerges from seemingly out of nowhere to state her opinion, but what she said did give me a little blast from the past over why. Oh? And why is that? I got an idea. I give Natsuki a smug look, which seems to tap into something of her memory. Bento? Don't you dare. Well, Yuri, when we were kids, Natsuki and I had a sleepover at my house. Bento? Natsuki attempts to shut me out by reaching for my mouth as I do so, but she fails when I grab her wrist in the process and tilt my head away. Natsuki felt like challenging me to watch a scary video on my mom's phones that I grabbed when she wasn't looking. But once we actually did it, guess who went crying to my mom 2 minutes later? I was not scared, you jerk! Although I'm absorbing the pain of Natsuki continues stomping on my foot, I get a little giggle out of Yuri, which marks as mission complete in my book. Okay, everyone. I believe it's time we head home now. Monica announces my salvation, so I quickly move away from Natsuki to grab my bag. Natsuki grumbles in rage throughout the time I pack up, but she didn't do anything to me. That's at least one thing about her that hasn't changed. Sure, she gets really handy at times, but I really enjoyed teasing her because it was the only way I knew how to push her buttons in a playful way. She was really just anger most of the time with everyone around her, and at times it was genuine, but not with me. She'd look angry or outright livid, but that's just her own way of being flustered. It wasn't really rocket science for me to figure out she's a real student today. But that's also why I'm always amazed to think about how caring she was back then. Well, rarely. Ready to walk home, Bento? Yup, let's go. Sayuri and I wave off to the club and head outside. The walk home was as lively as it usually has been the past week. Only this time it had more laughs because Sayuri I had overheard my story at the club. Once it subsided, Sayuri began asking more questions, then continue with idle chit-chat. Did you guys ever play tag? That's kind of random. Well, yeah, Natsuki never really talks about her childhood when I ask. But the more she avoided it, the more I wanted to know. I would never have thought her best friend was a boy. I come to a stop almost immediately. Really? Why's that? Well, she really has a lot of trouble getting along with people, especially guys. But most of the time, she's really aggressive towards them or just tries to avoid them in general. So this is still a problem. She's not being bullied, is she? It could just be because of me leaving that caused her distrust to intensify, but it's still possible. That's another mystery on my hands right now. But if she... Bento? Are you okay? Yeah, I'm alright. I was just thinking about some things. Now come on, we're almost home. Wait for me! Why are you walking so fast? Sayuri and I say our goodbyes and enter our houses. I pull out my phone after stepping into the house to see a few texts from Mom, but another one above hers. I dare you to come to school tomorrow. Looking at the message made me smile widely as I respond immediately. Aw, missing me already, shorty? Don't think this kind of stuff is going to make me forgive you any quicker. Oh, so you do plan on doing so anyway. Bento? Alright, I'll stop. Lol. I really am serious about making it up to you. I hate that I know you are. If you got any suggestions or anything that I should do in order to do that, I'm all ears. Don't try to cheese your way out of this, dummy. I'm not. But, I'm not. I'm just saying I can be your butler for a week or more if I have to. Ew, no, shut up. Lol. Gotta go now. Alright, catch you tomorrow, shorty. I hope not. With another proud chuckle, I properly welcome myself home and head down upstairs. I never thought I'd get so giddy over being called a dummy. That's the weird things about friendships that you gotta love. And this is where we're gonna end it off. Another great episode recorded. Oh my gosh. Okay. Anyway, that was really nice. You know, we got to meet Natsuki again. Of course, we already knew she was in this club, but with the story going, we didn't know, and it's a lot of emotions all over the place, you know? But we're gonna slowly but surely make it up for Natsuki and gain her trust again. Also, by the way things are going, I don't know if we're gonna have... I don't know, because it was usually with the mods I played, there's usually a love interest. Most of them being Natsuki, and then different story being Yuri. Except for A Weathered World. I'm never returning back to that game. Never. So yeah. But I am wondering if we even have a love interest in this one. And if we do, is it Koto Nuha or is it Natsuki? Or are they just gonna leave Natsuki as a friend? Anyway, that's probably left up for the other episodes we'll record. Anyway. If you like this episode, why not hit that like button? You know? And if you enjoy this type of content, I intend on making more of this type of content, so why not hit the subscribe button? Anyway, this has been Doki Doki Heart Struck. This has been Bento. I'll see y'all in the next one. Also, I have something to tell y'all. So, seeing as, I do little inserts of different videos here and there, and that. But seeing as my channel is mostly revolved around DDLC, there is this sort of mod a DDLC mod, but it's not actually one made for the original game, but more of a rhythm game, if I should ask it. So who knows? Maybe you guys will get a double upload, you know? But yeah, just keep your eye out on that. Anyway, this has been Doki Doki Heart Struck. This has been your boy Bento. I'll see y'all in the next one. Bento out.